Hello and welcome to the Youth for Human Rights Freedom Concert. My name is Aaron Carson and I'm the Vice President of the DC chapter of Youth for Human Rights International. As we have more and more viewers joining, we'd like to kick off today's event with an amazing educational documentary called The Story of Human Rights. Enjoy!
Human rights are the rights you have simply because you're human. It's how you instinctively expect and deserve to be treated as a person, like the right to live freely, to speak your mind, and to be treated as an equal. There are many kinds of rights. Most apply to a certain group. But human rights are the only ones that apply to absolutely everyone, everywhere. That means kids, old people, poor people, basketball players, garbage men, rappers, teachers, Africans, Indians, Albanians, Christians, Muslims, Kabbalists, atheists, your mom, your dad, your next door neighbor, and you all have the exact same human rights. In other words, they're universal. But the question remains, what are they?
Name the human rights?
What the human rights are?
The right to live.
Equality between all peoples.
Right to religion, the right to...
Is there supposed to be a list somewhere I should be aware of?
According to the United Nations, there are a total of 30 human rights, which are usually lumped together and called simply human rights. They're all listed out in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is the world's most widely accepted document on the subject. But it was a long time in coming. At first, there were no human rights. If you were in with the right crowd, you were safe. If you weren't, well, you weren't. But then a guy named Cyrus the Great decided to change all that. After conquering Babylon, he did something completely revolutionary. He announced that all slaves were free to go. He also said people had the freedom to choose their religion, no matter what crowd they were a part of. They documented his words on a clay tablet known as the Cyrus Cylinder. And just like that, human rights were born. The idea spread quickly to Greece, to India, and eventually to Rome. They noticed that people naturally followed certain laws, even if they weren't told to. They called this natural law, but it kept getting trampled on by those in power. Not until 1,000 years later in England did they finally get a king to agree that no one can overrule the rights of the people, not even a king. People's rights were finally recognized, and they were now safe from those in power. Kind of. It still took a bunch of British rebels declaring their independence before the king got the point that all men are created equal. Which isn't to say he liked the idea, but he couldn't stop them, and America was born. The French immediately followed with their own revolution for their own rights. Their list was even longer, and they insisted that these rights weren't just made up. They were natural. The Roman concept of natural law had become natural rights. Unfortunately, not everyone was so thrilled. In France, a general named Napoleon decided to overthrow the new French democracy and crown himself emperor of the world. He almost succeeded, but the countries of Europe joined forces and defeated him. Human rights was again a hot topic. They drew up international agreements, broadly granting many rights across Europe. But only across Europe. The rest of the world somehow still didn't qualify. Instead, they got invaded, conquered, and consumed by Europe's massive empires. But then a young lawyer from India decided enough was enough. His name was Mahatma Gandhi. And in the face of violence, he insisted that all people of Earth had rights, not just in Europe. Eventually, even Europeans started to agree. But it wasn't going to be that easy. 2 world wars erupted. Hitler exterminated half the Jewish population of Earth in horrifying Nazi death camps. And all told, 90 million people died. Never had human rights been so terrifyingly close to extinction. And never had the world been more desperate for change. So the countries of Earth banded together and formed the United Nations. Their basic purpose was to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights in the dignity and worth of the human person. But what were human rights? Were they the proclamations of Cyrus, the natural laws of Rome, the declarations of France? Everyone seemed to have a slightly different idea of what human rights should be. But under the supervision of Eleanor Roosevelt, they finally agreed on a set of rights that applied to absolutely everyone. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The French concept of natural rights had finally become human rights. So, in summary, at first, only a few lucky people had any rights, until one of those guys decided, hey, other people should have some rights too, which was great, except not everyone agreed. And it only took a few thousand years of fighting and declarations and more fighting until everyone finally agreed that human rights should apply to everyone. And they all lived happily ever after. Except for one little problem. If people have the right to food and shelter, why are 16,000 children dying of starvation every day? 1 every 5 seconds. If people have freedom of speech, why are thousands in prison for speaking their minds? If people have the right to education, why are over 1 billion adults unable to read? If slavery has truly been abolished, why are 27 million people still enslaved today? More than twice as many as in 1800. The fact is, when it was signed, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights did not have the force of law. It was optional. And despite many more documents, conventions, treaties, and laws, it's still little more than words on a page. So the question is, who will make those words a reality?
I have a dream today.
When Dr. King marched for racial equality, he was marching for rights that had been guaranteed by the United Nations for almost 2 decades. But still, he marched. When Nelson Mandela stood up for social justice in the 1990s, his country had already agreed to abolish such discrimination for almost 40 years. But still, he fought. Those who fight today against torture, poverty, and discrimination are not giants or superheroes. They're people. Kids, mothers, fathers, teachers. Free-thinking individuals who refuse to be silent. Who realize that human rights are not a history lesson. They're not words on a page. They're not speeches or commercials or PR campaigns. They are the choices we make every day as human beings. They are the responsibility we all share to respect each other, to help each other, and to protect those in need. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, where, after all, do universal human rights begin? In small places close to home. So close and so small that they cannot be seen on any maps of the world. Yet they are the world of the individual person, the neighborhood he lives in, the school or college he attends, the factory, farm, or office where he works. Such are the places where every man, woman, and child seeks equal justice, equal opportunity, equal dignity without discrimination. Unless these rights have meaning there, they have little meaning anywhere.
I absolutely love that video. No matter how many times I watch it, I always learn something new. Once again, you've just joined the Youth for Human Rights Freedom Concert. My name is Erin Carson. I'm the Vice President of the DC chapter of Youth for Human Rights International, and I'll be your MC for today. Today, we have a few things to celebrate, and we're doing it in style. Firstly, we would like to acknowledge the fact that 2021 marks the 20th anniversary of our organization, founded by Dr. Barry Shuttleworth, who you'll hear from today. For 20 years, we've worked to make human rights a fact in every corner of this planet, to educate youth and adults on the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights. to encourage those in positions of power to be a leader in disseminating this extremely important message of equality, dignity, and respect for one's fellow man. And while we've worked together for 20 years, many have come before us to help pave the way. On July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed by the members of the Continental Congress. You may remember the famous quote, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." And nearly 250 years later, these words mean just as much now as they ever did. One milestone occurred less than 3 weeks ago. On June 17, 2021, our president signed a bill establishing Juneteenth, the date commemorating the end of slavery in the United States, as a federal holiday. Juneteenth celebrates the emancipation of the last of enslaved African Americans in Galveston, Texas, on June 19, 1865. This came more than 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. There is so much work yet to be done, but we do need to acknowledge the wins and successes, no matter how small. So you can see we're in the mood to celebrate. This virtual concert will feature a variety of artists, music, and dance. Thank you for joining us today, and happy Independence Day. Our first artist has a powerful voice and an even more powerful message. She will be performing Are You Out There by John Legend, and her second song needs no introduction. Please welcome Giera Clark.
Hello, my friends! A pleasure to be here with you as always, my favorite people on this planet, the ones doing what it takes to actually make a significant change in this world. This is a very special event, and I have a special song for you with a perfect message. It's called If You're Out There.
If you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, I'm calling every man. We're the generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we cannot be late. I was looking for a song to sing, I've searched for a melody, I've searched for someone to lead. We were looking for the world to change. If you feel the same, then go on and say, if you're out there, sing along with me. If you're out there, I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud. If you're out there, tomorrow's starting now. Broken promises, no more call to war, unless it's love and peace that we're really fighting for. Oh, we can destroy hunger, we can conquer hate. Put down the arms and raise your voice, we're joining hands today. Oh, I wasn't looking for a song to sing, I searched for a leader, but the leader was me. Oh, we were looking for the world to change. If you feel the same, then go on and say, if you're out there, sing along with me. If you're out there, I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud. If you're out there, tomorrow's starting now. change that we want to see if you're out there. Oh, yeah. Oh, if you're out there and you're ready now, sing it out, scream it loud if you're out there. Oh, if you're out there, oh, if you're out there, I know that you're out there. Oh, if you're out there, I know that you're out there. I know that you're out there. If you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, I'm calling every man. We're the generation, we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we will not be late.
Woo! Isn't that such a great song? Perfect message. Okay, my friends, I have one more song for you this evening. It is an important song indeed. It is our national anthem. Are you ready? Great. Our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave on the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's such a pleasure to be here with you. I'll see you all again very soon. Have a wonderful event.
Thank you, Giera. That was an amazing performance. Next up are two local DC artists, Brennan Childs and Rachel Kimmel, followed by a special message from the grandson of the late B.B. King and founder of the Gentleman's Course, Christopher King.
Hello everyone, happy Independence Day. My name is Brennan and I'm a pianist and composer.
My name is Rachel and I'm a singer.
We'd like to dedicate this song to the Youth for Human Rights International for all the tireless work they do in educating others on the importance of human rights.
Today we're going to perform an arrangement of Earth Song by Michael Jackson.
What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain? What about killing fear? Is there a time? What about all the things that you said were yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the blood we've shed before? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, these weeping shores? What have we done to the world? Look what we've done. What about all the peace that you pledged your only son? What about flowering fields? Is there a time? What about all the dreams that you said were yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the children dead from war? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, these weeping shores?
Congratulations, Mary. It's the 20th anniversary. My name is Christopher King, president of United for Human Rights Florida. I'm honored to be a part of this organization and the work that she and all are doing. It is a fight that we can never stop. Human rights must be mandatory in our schools and in our communities. The education of those 30 inalienable rights. Do you know your rights? I pray that you learn your rights. If you don't, contact one of our centers. Let us continue the fight by educating not only just you, but everyone that you know as well. Miss Mary, you've been dedicated and inspiring to pushing that message of human rights education. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you and congratulations on this 20th anniversary. Once again, I'm Christopher King, President, United for Human Rights Florida. Thank you. Much love and peace.
Wow, that was great. Thank you all. Now, it wouldn't be a human rights concert without some human rights education. We'd like to show you a public service announcement on human right number 1, the right to life. This will be followed by an original performance from Callie Rivlin.
Can you tell which of these children was not born free? Can you tell which of these children was not born equal? Can you tell which of these children does not deserve to be treated with dignity? we can't either. Human right number one. We are all born free and equal. What are human rights? Find out at youthforhumanrights.org.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. So nice to be here. My name is Callie Rivlin. I am a singer-songwriter. I'm a piano composer, Exhibit A. And I'm really happy to be with you today. I love the fact that America celebrates her freedom so much, America. So on this particular day, and after the last kind of year and a half that we've all had, I think nothing could be more important than to celebrate your freedom, your rights, and your right to freedom. And I really would like to honor and acknowledge Youth for Human Rights for their 20th anniversary. What? That's pretty incredible, for their tireless work in educating people. I've seen so many of their campaigns. I've helped throughout the years on distributing some of these things, and I think the PSAs are just so moving. Nothing moves you to tears, like from 1 to 10 in like I'm sobbing, than these things, because they're so touching. They're fantastic. If you haven't seen them, I strongly recommend you go on their website and watch the PSAs. I'd like to focus on 30, which is no one can take away your human rights. That's, right number 30. No one, not the police or the government or that guy that was looking at you funny or your neighbor or your whatever. No one can take away your human rights. They're inalienable in every country, in every place, no matter who you are and what you do. So that's really important to have. And I think with that knowledge comes a lot of power and responsibility. Once you're empowered, you can, set yourself free. So I wish you a very explosive, dynamite kind of day with fireworks and the rest of it. I know you party hard and you go big. So I hope that you enjoy that. And I'd like to introduce my song that I have chosen to share with you today. The song is called Flying Through Water, and it means a great deal to me. It's the title track of my album. And I just love it so much. The lyrics were written by Fraser Key Scott, who's a dear friend of mine now, but at the time I didn't know him. And he suggested to write something for me, and he said, give me a concept. And I said, flying through water, go. And it ended up being one of my favorite things. So it's about kind of trying to do something that's impossible. When you're trying to do something that you know is impossible, like flying through water, but you kind of set your mind to it and you overcome your own chains, whether that's mental chains, actual chains, whatever. And one of the lyrics in the song, don't only dive down, there's an ocean before you. You don't have to dive down, you can fly through the water. So I wish all that for us, and I hope that we as a society and as a country can overcome that and keep fighting for our rights. Thank you so much to Thomas and Will and the good people behind the scenes who keep on fighting and getting us artists band together for this kind of activity. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Happy 4th.
Thank you so much, Callie. Next, we're so honored to hear from Carrie Kasem, American radio personality and founder of Kasem Cares, followed by a special performance from Hannah Lee.
Hey, Carrie Kasem here on this very special day, the independence of America, and also celebrating Youth for Human Rights and 20 years of incredible service to this country and to so many countries across this amazing globe of ours. Congratulations, Dr. Mary Shuttleworth, on really creating something that has changed the world, especially my life, because I've been fighting against human rights atrocities for the last 7 years. And because of your materials, I've helped change the law in 12 different states and working on all 50. So the right to no torture, especially when you are elderly or vulnerable, is so important. And that happens in this great country of ours, unfortunately. But your educators' kits, your packets, your website have really transformed so many lives, especially mine. So I want to congratulate you on this day. This concert is absolutely amazing. It's the Youth for Human Rights Freedom Concert. There is no better name for that. So God bless America. God bless you, Dr. Mary Shuttleworth, and everybody at Youth for Human Rights.
Hey guys, I'm Hannah Lee, and I'm so excited and honored to be here with you all for this concert celebrating human rights across the globe and Independence Day. I love you all very much. Enjoy.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. Let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake you around. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I've got the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from 0 to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up. Already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake you around. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I've got the eye of the tiger, the fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
Thank you, Carrie and Hannah. If you just tuned in, you're watching the Youth for Human Rights Freedom Concert in celebration of the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International. The name of this next group is WD Han, which is pretty ironic because it stands for We Don't Have a Name. Enjoy.
Hi! We're WD Han. We're so excited to be with you on July 4th, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights. This organization is one that we have worked with many times, and we're so honored to have done so, and so excited to celebrate the tireless work everybody involved with that organization has put in over the years. Thank you for having us. Enjoy the song.
Thank you, WD Han, for your amazing performance and continued support. Next up, we'll see another one of our favorite PSAs, followed by an original dance performed by human rights advocate Shailene Das Twinkie.
Namaste, hello everyone. I'm Shalin Das, all the way from India, Kolkata city. I'm the state leader for Youth for Human Rights International and human rights trainer. I would like to thank Youth for Human Rights for celebrating 20 years of anniversary and giving me a platform to dance here in this freedom concert. For me, human rights are the rights which help people to live with dignity, peace and equality. So in this freedom concert, I have chosen a Bengali song which wrote by our Indian greatest poet Rabindranath Tagore. Jodi tor dak shune kyu na ashe tobe ekla cholo re. In English translation, this means if no one heeds your call, just walk alone, my friend, not to be afraid of anything. So in this freedom concert, I think this is the best message I can give to everyone. So let's ensure a better generation for youth, freedom to think, freedom to live. And I would like to thank the founder president of Youth for Human Rights International, Dr. Mary Shackelford, for teaching each and every individual what are human rights and making me a part of this wonderful journey. And dance is my freedom. What's yours? So let's stand up for human rights and women's rights, and let's make human rights a global reality. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Shailene, for that powerful message. Up next, an original performance from Bill Wee and the French Girls. Enjoy.
Happy 4th of July and happy Independence Day. My name is Jeff and this is my wife Sylvie, and my sister Claire will be joining us in a little while.
Human rights are really important to us because they are the basis of all our freedoms. Thank you, Youth for Human Rights, for your tireless dedication and work in human rights education, particularly the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is making such an impact all over the world.
The song we're going to play is called The Joy of Creating, and it ties into human right number 19, freedom of expression, and human right number 24, the right to play. Have a happy 4th of July and enjoy our music. I'm bringing French girls. Come on, French girls, come on. Everybody can shake your head through the whole song if you want. Here we go. Shake that head. A hard part. Force yourself to smile, and soon you'll stop frowning. Force yourself to laugh, and soon you'll find something to laugh about. Wax enthusiastic, and very soon you'll feel so. Being positive down, feeling the joy of creating, the joy of creating. The greatest joy there is in life, the greatest joy there is in life. The greatest joy there is in life, the greatest joy there is in life is creating.
Thank you so much to Bill Lee and the French Girls. Next, we will hear from President's Volunteer Service Award winner and talented artist. Her name is Sophia Angelica.
Hello everyone, my name is Sophia Angelica. I am a singer-songwriter and a creative activist, and I am so excited to be here with all of you on Independence Day in this virtual celebration for the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International. Human rights has been so a part of my journey as a musician because I've always been inspired to write music to help others, especially to educate about human rights like anti-discrimination and anti-bullying over the years. So the next song I'm going to share with you is called Survivors. I wrote it during the pandemic with this incredible artist in Uruguay named Juan Cristiani, and 29 other musicians from all over the world got involved to create this anthem to tell our survival story during the pandemic. And it has a lot to do with human rights because, especially with all the human rights violations going on around the world, we wanted to create a song that would inspire people to get through this pandemic and to overcome all of these challenges. So I hope you enjoy. This is Survivors, and you can join the movement with the hashtags at the end of the video. Here it is.
Suffering, feel so wrong, so uncertain how to go on. Can't lose faith, we'll be strong as survivors, win the war.
Open our heart and our mind to one another. We can recover all we have lost. We can't fight, can't divide us. We are survivors.
Even if you're lonely, you're not alone. Even if we're distant, fight together through it all. Even if you're lonely, you're not alone. Even if we're distant, fight together through it all.
Thank you, Sophia, for your continuous contributions to Youth for Human Rights. If you just tuned in, you're watching the Washington, D.C. Youth for Human Rights Freedom Concert in celebration of the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International. The name of the next group is synonymous with swing dancing and swing music. They call themselves the Jive Aces. This will be followed by a message from our president of the D.C. chapter of Youth for Human Rights, Azar Haq.
Hello, Ian from the Jive Aces, and we're here to help you celebrate 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights. And also, well done to Mary Shuttleworth for what you're doing. Awesome! And here is something to help you spread a little more sunshine.
Unemployment levels have soared to record numbers over the past few months as the business sector feels the credit squeeze. Experts blame the government for incompetence while the government in turn continues to blame the banks. The banks are blaming the public sector for the economic downturn, and there is no clear end of the crisis in sight.
Strikes continue on the underground today due to industrial action, which is causing record traffic jams on the road.
And in further news, another politician has been remanded into custody over allegations of fraud and embezzlement.
Floods have killed enough.
Citizens are being advised to stay indoors today as an alligator has reportedly escaped from the zoo. And finally, the weather. Cloudy and dim day, which looks to last at least the rest of the week. Temperature will be chilly at best, and there is a high chance of rain with an unrelenting easterly wind. The leader of a girl gang in Plymouth has been jailed.
Bring me sunshine in your smile. Make me happy all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness, so much joy we can give to each brand new bright tomorrow. Make me happy through the years. Never bring me any tears. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Hop the bubbles with that today. Hop the bubbles with it, bring me sunshine. In your smile, make me happy, all the while. In this world where we live, there should be more happiness, so much joy we can give to each brand new bright tomorrow. Make me happy, through the years. Never bring me any tears. Let your arms be as warm as the sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Make me happy through the years. Never bring me any tears. Let your arms be as warm as sun from up above. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine, bring me love. Bring me fun, bring me sunshine.
everyone, and thank you for attending the Youth for Human Rights Freedom Concert in honor of the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International. My name is Azar Haq, and I'm the president of the DC chapter. The DC chapter is proud to sponsor the Freedom Concert in collaboration with chapters throughout the USA, and I especially want to thank United for Human Rights Florida for the tremendous support they have provided. We have a tradition of organizing a human rights concert every year in Washington, D.C. around the Cherry Blossom Festival, and many of the performers you have seen and will see have performed at these concerts, and we're very excited that they're performing today for us. While we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International, I think about the tremendous work that volunteers have been engaged in throughout the USA and in fact throughout the world to bring the message of human rights to millions. I especially want to recognize Dr. Mary Shuttleworth for her vision and dedication as our leader and continuously inspiring us to do all we can to bring hope to millions through education of their human rights. I also want to thank the performers for being part of this celebration and making it so very special for all of us. I'm sure you'll agree. Well, with that, let's keep the music rolling. Next up, we have Carrie Golston and the Jam Band. They have performed at all of our concerts, and we're happy they're with us today.
Here we are, Washington, D.C. I'm here with Carrie Golston, who's the leader of the Jam Band out of Clearwater, Florida. So, Carrie.
Very exciting. We're making history today. First time ever we're performing right in front of the Lincoln Memorial with our band, promoting Youth for Human Rights. The idea is to reach people with the music and then introduce our program. There's just literally thousands of people out here today.
Yeah, Youth for Human Rights.
Youth for Human Rights. Hello everybody, my name is Carrie Golston. I am the drummer and singer for the classic rock band called the Jam Band. We are from Clearwater, Florida, and I'm representing co-creator of our band for over 13 years, Mike Campbell, guitar player, Kerry Fuller, bass player, and myself, I'm on drums and vocals. I just wanted to thank Tom for having us be part of this celebration of the Youth for Human Rights and the Human Rights Program, which is so important. I want to thank all of you for being a part. I want to thank Mary Shuttleworth for the incredible work she's been doing for such a long time, and bringing us this Youth for Human Rights and Human Rights Program is incredible. There is nothing like it on planet Earth. It's an honor to be a part of it, and I hope you all enjoy the show.
Songs about
Well, ZZ Top.
Good morning. I'm here to read you your rights.
My what?
We are all free and equal. Don't discriminate. You have the right to life.
You have the right to life and to live in freedom and safety.
You have a right to education. You have a right to your own things.
You have the right to social security. You have the right to play.
You have the right to democracy. You have the right to asylum.
You have the right to take responsibility. And no one and nobody can take these rights and freedoms away from you.
Why are you doing this?
You have a right to know.
Thank you to Azar, Carrie, and the entire jam band. Next, we will hear a beautiful song from Judy Bashar, followed by a message from Nancy Rivard, founder of Airline Ambassadors.
Shalom, my name is Judy Bashar, and I'm so excited to be here with you today on Independence Day and celebrate the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International. I personally love human rights, and I distribute a lot of these wonderful booklets, especially in my country, in Israel, and I support it with all my heart, and I know that all of you do the same. It's very important to keep our rights. I have created a song. It's a very tough song, but it has a saying about child trafficking and our freedom. We have to fight for our freedom. For the price is freedom, is constant alertness and constant willingness to fight back. And we are fighting, and we are the best. We are amazing. Thank you so much for being a part of this amazing event. The song that I wrote, especially for you, is called "A Child of this Universe." I created it along with the amazing Megan Brazil and with 15 unbelievable kids that took part to make it a beautiful presentation. Thank you so much, and have a very, very happy Independence Day. Mwah. Love you.
Silence cover my eyes. I can't breathe. I'm trapped in these circles of illusions. Is it real, or is it in my mind? My dreams, I cast them away. Deep down my soul, can you hear me calling your name? Is there anybody out there? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? My freedom, you took it away. I'm just a child. You think I'm nothing to say? And all the lies that you promised me, they fade into the unknown. I have a life. I have a name. I can fight and win this game. Don't discourage my strength. I'm a child. I'm a child of this universe, and I wanna live, and I want to play and spread the love I was meant to spread. My dreams, I see 1,000 smiles. I'm awake, I'm out of the trial. I'll take you with me.
separate world. You will love it there forever. You are free forever. You have a life. You have a name. You can fight and win this game. Don't discourage your strength. You're a child. You're a child of the
Hello, this is Nancy Rivard. I'm president of Airline Ambassadors International. I'm speaking to you from El Salvador. The first time I met Mary Shuttleworth was when she presented at the United States Congress. And I was so impressed with her commitment to educate youth for human rights. When I saw the materials, the pamphlets, the videos, the teacher's curriculum, I asked if Airline Ambassadors humanitarian teams could take these around the world. We did deliver them to Philippines, El Salvador, Colombia, Mexico, and Haiti, to very grateful recipients. Later, Mary and I both presented at the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime in Vienna, when Airline Ambassadors had become a leading advocate for human trafficking awareness in the aviation industry, a true human right. We are so pleased to be a part of this work, to help take your materials around the world. Many, many congratulations to Youth for Human Rights on their 20th anniversary. And I applaud you, Dr. Mary Shuttleworth, for your continued commitment and passion to the cause. Best of luck. Airline Ambassadors is with you. We look forward to working together. Goodbye.
Thank you, Judy and Nancy. Our next artist has a powerful message regarding the rights we all have. Please welcome Neil Fox, followed by a message from human rights activist Rosie Orozco.
Hi, my name is Neil Fox, and I wrote this next song called You Have the Right. And what do human rights mean to me? Frankly, I think it's the most important thing there is, and everybody should know about them from a very early age. So I'd like to congratulate Youth for Human Rights on their 20th anniversary, teaching people their rights. Way to go, guys. Happy 4th.
You have the right to believe what you believe. You have the right. It's a natural part of you. You have the right to soar above the clouds and reach new heights. Any dream you can pursue. You can stand like a beacon in the night and be free to dream what might. You have the right to create what you conceive. You have the right to possess the things you own. You have the right to speak up even in the darkest night. Even if you stand alone, when it seems like there's no one else in sight. One soul turns on the light. You have the right.
He doesn't care to look like me. He's bowing and praying to a God I never see. But he's a good man, a right man with respect for you and me. No matter how strange to us, he has the right to be. There's a girl about 5, I don't remember her name. She might be still alive, she might not look the same. You see, slavery never died, it's alive and well. The slavers don't believe in rights, they come straight from hell. We mustn't look away, I know it's hard to do, but she's everyone's child, it's up to me and you. Tyrannies never last when people take a stand. The message will be telecast, we're taking back this land. The biggest ones will cower as we cut them down to size. They keep on getting smaller when we look them in the eyes. Know your rights and you can walk in the sun. These rights are for you and they're for everyone. Teach them in the schools till freedom rules the day. Cause no one has the right to take these rights away.
You have the right to be free and live in peace. You have the right to protect the ones you love. You have the right to gather and express and bring to light to the thoughts you're thinking of. And the dreams that we dream are in our sight. For these truths we'll stand and fight. You have the right to be free and live in peace. You have the right to protect the ones you love. You have the right to gather and express and bring to light to the thoughts you're thinking of. And the dreams that we dream are in our sight. For these truths we'll stand and fight. You have the right.
Hi, this is Rosy Orozco, President and founder of Mexican Commission United Against Trafficking. I was a congresswoman and I wrote the law to prosecute traffickers, and we passed it with the unanimous support of Congress. I also created and run shelters in Mexico City, State of Mexico. We helped the shelter in Puebla, the one in Tijuana, and the one in Colima. I first met Youth for Human Rights with Luis Gonzalez and Raul Arias, and I was so happy to find another group worried about trafficking and willing to help the victims. I have worked with Mary Shuttleworth and Raul here in Mexico, and Sylvia Stanner in the US to bring awareness to this horrible crime and to find a way to build more shelters for protecting the victims. I am so grateful because Youth for Human Rights has been side by side with our organization, not only to pass the law, but also to protect it, because there was people trying to destroy the human trafficking law in Mexico. Together with all the others in this space, we can make a huge difference and save lives. Congratulations on your 20th anniversary.
Thank you, Neil and Rosie. Next up, we have an uplifting message from vocalist Erica Cerruti, followed by a special message from the Policy Director for Freedom Rescue, Rita Hernandez.
Ciao, I'm Luna, and I'm truly happy today to be part of this project on Independence Day in honor of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. When I wrote Warriors, it was all about human rights and bringing the message and creating a brotherhood in pushing human rights. And Youth for Human Rights has done this for 20 years. They're amazing. They put all this together. I hope you enjoy it and have a great time with us. Ciao.
We're at war with demons inside, with pain. People hide behind a facade. I say, now it's time for all to stand up this way. Who you are or what you made. I know you can hear me. Stop fighting with your head and fix what we've done bad. We are warriors. No, we won't let go. We will win with no guns but words. We are warriors. Yes, we run.
Good day, everyone. It is such an honor to greet you. My name is Rita Maria Hernandez, and I am the Policy and Advocacy Director at Rescue Freedom International. We are an organization that partners with local grassroots NGOs in 23 different countries to fight human trafficking and the sexual exploitation of women and children around the world. I have had the great honor and privilege to work with Youth for Human Rights on several occasions in Washington, D.C., Mexico, and Europe. I must say that the best part of the experience is working along such wonderfully committed people and seeing young people absorb everything that you have to teach. It is so important that this generation of young people know, protect, and live out the beautiful essence of human dignity. And the work being done through Youth for Human Rights is such a key element in reaching this goal. Happy anniversary to all involved, and I hope we can work together again soon.
Thank you, Erica and Rita. Now we're going to hear an original version of one of my favorite songs from the talented Chris Rowlance, followed by freedom fighter Andrea Powell.
Hi, my name is Chris Rowlance, and I'm really excited to get to be participating and performing today as a part of this wonderful Independence Day event with Youth for Human Rights. And I firstly just want to really acknowledge all the wonderful work that Youth for Human Rights is doing, in particular with the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I also want to talk a little bit about what human rights means to me. Like most people, I think that for most of my life, I've thought about human rights as being these large-scale things that relate to political issues and global issues, and all of that is very important and very true. But I did get the opportunity recently to see how human rights and those precepts can apply to our everyday lives and our interactions with one another. Over the last several years, I've been really fortunate to get to work with Will Seabrook in his organization Rock for Human Rights. And in 2018, we did a very ambitious tour that was 30 cities, 30 days, 30 human rights. And we traveled around the country performing for elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. And one of the most gratifying things in my life to this day has been getting to hear the feedback from kids after we did our presentations on things they took away, things they learned, realizations they had, and decisions they may have made as a result of watching our presentation. Some of the things that these kids were saying were incredibly moving, articulate, thoughtful, emotional, and you could really see that this was changing children's viewpoints on how they interact with people and how the human rights apply to their everyday. That was really eye-opening for me. I've never thought about human rights in that way. So for me, I think the thing that I like to think about with that is if everyone had a greater understanding of these precepts, if everyone was treating each other with the human rights in mind, we would have a much improved, much more peaceful society on a grassroots level in our everyday lives. And that would have a greater and greater effect moving up the scale to having a more peaceful planet. And so for me, that's what I think about when I think about the human rights. Now I'd like to play one of my favorite songs of all time for you. This is written by Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. Here's God Only Knows.
I may not always love you, as long as there are stars above you. You never need to doubt it, I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me, the world could show nothing to me, so what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you.
Hi, my name is Andrea Powell, and I'm the co-founding executive director for Karana Rising, a survivor-led nonprofit supporting survivors of human trafficking and sexual exploitation for life. I have known Youth for Human Rights for more than 10 years, and we believe, like them, that all young people deserve to be free, safe from exploitation, and able to access the education and support they need to thrive. We are so grateful for the support of Youth for Human Rights in educating young people across the globe, from the United States to Russia, on how to stay safe from human trafficking. They have supported our mission to educate and protect child survivors of human trafficking and to advocate for policies that ensure that fewer and fewer children experience this horrible human rights violation. So thank you, and happy anniversary to Dr. Shuttleworth and the entire Youth for Human Rights team. We deeply appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Chris and Andrea. Next up is the founder of Rock for Human Rights, and he was instrumental in putting this concert together for you today, Will Seabrook. And following that, you'll see an artist you may recognize from Broadway or her time on The X Factor. Her name is Stacey Francis. Enjoy.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say a quick thank you for being here and being a part of this. It's really a privilege to work with so many artists and amazing speakers and activists around the world celebrating my country's independence, celebrating human rights. I can't think of a better way to spend this day and better company to be in. So thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out all this art. Please support all these artists and speakers and people who are doing such amazing work. Find out more about what they're doing. And if you feel inspired to contribute, please reach out to them. People always need and appreciate the help. And we're just so glad that you're here.
I'll light this candle for you. I'll let it burn, let it shine all night. I'll light this candle for you and watch it turn from dark to daylight. You were there for me when I could not care for me. You were there for me. Fall back, fear for me. So I will be there for you when the seas rise up and wipe it all away. I will be there for you when the world lines up and calls it a day. I'll light this candle. I'll light this candle. I'll light this candle. I'll light this candle. Let it burn for you. Ndokupa mapapiro nyika izere tariro nekuti wakavepo zvichindiremera ipapo mumudzwa nerukato Shamwarie murwendo munamone mufaro andisha yetariro. You were there for me when I could not care for me. You were there for me. You fought back fear for me. So I will be there for you when the seas rise up and wipe it all away. I will be there for you when the world lines up and calls it a day. I'll light this candle. I'll light this candle. I'll light this candle. Let it burn for you. For you. For you. For you. I will be there for you when the world. I will be there for you when the world. I'll light this countdown. I'll light this countdown.
Hi, my name is Stacey Francis. I want to wish you all a very happy 4th of July Independence Day. I'm singing Imagine by John Lennon today. It still applies, this song, the lyrics, and what we would love to imagine for America. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
Thank you, Will and Stacy. I'm now extremely honored to be able to introduce the president and founder of Youth for Human Rights International, Dr. Mary Shuttleworth.
Wow, what an uplifting tribute to Independence Day 2021. Today we soared on the wings of our gifted artists and were profoundly touched by your presentations and messages. Thank you. Please join us in congratulating Azar Haq and the dedicated team in Washington, D.C. for organizing this truly inspiring Freedom Concert. This year we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Youth for Human Rights International. These years have simply flown by. Only 2 short decades ago, Youth for Human Rights was a concept, a dream. Promoting human rights, specifically the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, was vital. But how do you do that? Where do you start? Today, through your support and the support of so many around the world, our Youth for Human Rights programs reach, teach, and inspire people in 27 languages in more than 190 countries, through over 1,300 TV stations, with some 50,000 schools and institutions empowering more than 1.7 million students worldwide. And we're expanding exponentially. Because of you, students, educators, leaders, and officials are promoting these 30 universal human rights as a basis, a foundation to freedom. Thank you. Thank you for this heartwarming celebration. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you, Mary, for everything you have made happen over the last 20 years. We would not be here without you. And with that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank every single person who contributed to the Youth for Human Rights Freedom Concert. We owe each and every one of you a huge acknowledgement. Whether you performed today, provided a special message of well wishes, helped produce this concert, or simply tuned in and enjoyed it, thank you. So, to end off today's concert, we thought we would go back to the beginning with the very first video that started it all. It is an award-winning music video promoting tolerance and peace to young people the world over, entitled United, introduced with a special message from Taron Lexton. Thank you again for tuning in, and happy Independence Day.
Hey, I'm Taron Lexton, the director and producer of the United music video, the 30 Human Rights PSAs, and the Story of Human Rights documentary. I just want to congratulate Youth for Human Rights on 20 amazing years, changing this world, changing kids' lives, and truly making this a better place for all of us to live. It's truly incredible to think what's been accomplished, and I just want to say happy anniversary. Here's to another 20 years and beyond. Keep up the great work.
TED, the world will be a better place, you know? As it pulls from my pen, pain pulls from my heart. Knowing this kid somewhere that actually starve. Take the time out, close your eyes, just picture this. No color, no hate, nemesis or differences. TV is filling me with scenes of negativity, but we can control it if we cooperate willingly. We came a long way, but got so much further to go. Guns kill, but hatred destroys us the most. And the problem could never be solved, you see. Human rights define the word equality. If we don't respect and love each other, we're just living a lie. Because united starts with you and I, you feel me?
A better place this world would be. We're all in this game, can't you see? We're all a part of this family tree. A better place this world would be. We're all in this game, can't you see? We're all a part of this family tree.
We all are born free and equal, free to walk and free to talk, free to dance, free to jump and free to prance. And what I'm saying, gotta keep it together, no matter how bad the weather. It will be alright, keep it tight, cause we all got our freedom rights every day, from the night to the broad daylight. Don't discriminate, learn to appreciate, so you don't have to imitate. Don't be the one to hate, it's never too late. You got the right to life, innocent to proven guilty. You can say what you like, gotta get the education. Don't throw it away, know your human rights, cause it can help you someday.
A better place this world would be. We're all in this game, can't you see? We're all a part of this family tree. A better place this world would be. We're all in this game, can't you see? We're all a part of this family tree.
For me, this project was more than just a film. I saw an opportunity here to do something that hasn't been done before. I was asked by Youth for Human Rights to figure out how to make a film that was about human rights, that was educational, and yet was still interesting and engaging and entertaining for kids. The main concept behind this music video was that it would be a universal music video. And so for that very purpose, we organized to go on a world tour. The World Tour 2004 had two purposes. One, it was a film shoot for United. The other was Youth for Human Rights was basically making an educational campaign into all these different countries meeting with political advisors, meeting with children, distributing pamphlets, distributing information. The world tour was basically me and my mother. If you can imagine, we kind of country hopped. We basically would arrive in a country, we would quickly scout around, figure out what are the key locations in this country, what symbolizes India or Thailand or Taiwan. And basically what we do in front of these locations is we would throw a paper airplane. People thought we were crazy. I mean, they really did. I mean, we'd sit there with the camera and we'd be meticulous. We'd be like, no, but the wind is blowing, so it'd blow the paper airplane, and then we'd get this crowd forming around us trying to figure out what we're doing with this paper airplane in front of this landmark, like the Taj Mahal. It's hard to convince people that we actually did it, but we did, I promise. I was getting a shot of a monkey on the side of the road that it was a pet of some local kid. And basically he wanted to get the monkey to do tricks for the camera. So he was getting the monkey to turn flips, jump up on the staff he had. And at one point I moved in for the close-up, and I guess I violated the monkey's territory because he got very upset with me. And as I tried to pull the camera away, he ripped the lens off the front of the camera. So I leaped back, of course. He's running at me with his claws outreached straight for my eyes. I mean, this close. The kid yanks back on the leash and the monkey goes spiraling backwards, right, away from me. And I swear I missed death by about this much. Most people just find it funny. There were several countries we went into that were literally in political upheaval. There were riots every day. There were explosions going off. We would hear on the news that each place that we had personally been, like an hour or two beforehand, was now in rubble because a bomb had gone off. It was really scary in a way, but also life-affirming. It really raised my personal necessity to do this project. As soon as we got back from the world tour, we started pre-production. We got a lot of support throughout Los Angeles. All of our actors donated their time. All of our crew donated their time. We had one actress fly in from Hawaii specifically to be in this project. We made sure to include as many kids as possible on the crew, actually operating the camera, actually pushing the dolly, actually operating the crane. We had an unbelievable cast, and you'll notice that it's mostly kids. But these kids perform like adults. I mean, these actors didn't have the benefit of lines. They had to express all of their emotion with their body language. Andre Boyden, the main kid, this guy was unbelievable. I mean, he could emote in a way that came through without words. Jaslyn Liggins, I get so many comments about her that she's the cutest little girl anyone's ever seen. Eric Forte was like such a perfect choice for the villain. I forget that I need to give him direction. You know, he just does it so well. He really respects the art of acting and directing, and I just love working with the guy because he's just a total pleasure.
So my job is to bully all of the young kids, to show them firsthand what it's like not to have your human rights.
Lele is probably the coolest kid on the face of the planet. I'm pretty sure that in the new Webster's Dictionary, they've got a picture of her next to cool because she's the perfect description of cool. That, and she writes the most phenomenal lyrics. The scene with the girl rapping was shot at the St. Francis de Assisi School in Los Angeles. We basically had, I think, 50 extras that we kind of recycled in every single shot, so it looks like we've just got hundreds, but truly we don't. We've got about 50. It was the first big scene that we filmed, and we were really kind of jumping into the deep end here. Action!
How's it?
Our biggest scene was the basketball scene, of course. Finding the basketball court, the perfect basketball court, because this entire film, its heart was in this basketball court. So I told my location managers, you've got to find this exact one, and I drew it out on a piece of paper exactly how it needed to look, and where the fence needed to be, and where the door to the fence needed to be, and everything exactly. And they just stared at me in complete horror because they knew they'd have to find this thing, right? But I was amazed, and they actually found the perfect one. We shot there for a total of about 6 days. We had tons of extras on set. We had a huge crane for several days. We got our sweeping shot over the fence, the handshake at the end.
It was hot. We could only shoot for a couple hours in the day so that the sun was in the right place. We literally had about a 3-hour window every day. I couldn't have done this without the producer, Leslie Brown. My crazy process as a director, I suppose, she makes it possible for me to just do my job. So much energy and so much time and so much life went into this music video from so many different people. It's incalculable.
It was really my mother, Mary Shuttleworth, the director of Youth for Human Rights, that always kept me inspired and motivated me to keep going and made me believe that this could actually be possible.
I have just been flabbergasted with the scale on which it was received. I mean, we get daily emails from Italy, from Russia, from the Czech Republic. To me, United is really a testament to the fact that the world does respond to positive material. Kids respond to positive material. And that is the real lesson that I learned as a filmmaker. It changed my whole idea of what films are. It's about your story, it's about your characters, and it's about what you want to say and how you pull it off.